Good Vibe Tribe, it's Elise here, and today I'm going to be answering your questions. It has been quite a while since I have shared a Q&A video, and I'm pretty excited. I posted on Instagram story, follow me on Instagram if you're not already. I posted on Instagram stories earlier today asking for any questions that you might have, and I screenshotted a lot of questions. So I'm gonna try and get through as many as I possibly can while also still providing quality, authentic answers. So without further ado, let's go. The very first question is by Bar Sahar, and they asked, will I be hosting retreats in Hawaii although I have this health situation? Wouldn't going back to a humid place be so bad for me? So yeah, this has been such a highly asked question. The answer is yes, I am returning to Hawaii at the end of July. And no, I'm not quite concerned about my health because one, the retreat is gonna be hosted on the dry side of the island. It's like super deserty over there. It's not as humid as the area that I was living. And also, I will have like 6+ weeks under my belt of basically my diet and supplement protocol and living in such a dry place here in Colorado. So basically, my immune system and my health is going to be in a way better place than it was when I had first left Hawaii. And again, it's dry over there. So yes, I'm returning for this retreat. I'm not sure what the future holds, but time shall tell. Next question is by Whitney Lane, and she asked, where did you get your water filtration system? So the system that I have here is a Kangen machine by the brand Enagic, and I got it I think around 6 to 8 months ago, and I really love it. I've always had trouble drinking water, but ever since I got the Kangen machine, it's been a little bit easier for me because it just tastes better. It has like this hydrating aftertaste that tap water doesn't have, so yes. Okay, the next question is by somebody who prefers to keep their name private, and they were wondering, when I was making the changes to eat healthier and cleaner, did I have periods where I was struggling? For example, did I start to eat well, but then my mind was not focused enough and I fell back to eating junk food? Do I have any tips for this? Yes, of course. I am human and there have been times that I struggled with food. I think that my main tip would be to not beat yourself up for slip-ups or mistakes or returning to old habits that you don't want to continue carrying out. My biggest tip is to just love yourself throughout the journey. The only thing worse than like making a mistake or returning to an old habit is beating yourself up for it and feeling guilty about it. So that's my number one tip. And my second tip is to really envision yourself living the life that you want to live. For example, if you want to be super freaking healthy, envision yourself living healthy, feeling healthy. What would your life look like? What sort of lifestyle behaviors would you be carrying out on a daily basis? How would you care for yourself? How would you speak to yourself? How would you speak about yourself? Like, consider all of those things and get really clear on what your ideal is. What do you want to feel like? What do you want to look like? All those things. That is my second tip, and that's like a game changer. So I highly encourage anybody to engage in asking themselves those questions for any goals or any positive changes or any aspect of life at all. The next question is from Archer Emily, and she asked, what mascara do you use? I know that's super random, but you have awesome eyelashes. Thank you. Yeah, so when I do use mascara, I use the Arbonne mascara. I think I first tried it out about 10 months ago, and my favorite part is the brush. It's just like so good. Granted, I don't have experience with like tons of makeup, but it works really well for me. And yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about it. I do want to let you know that anything I share today regarding products that I use or anything that I recommend or anything at all, I'm going to link everything that I mentioned down in the video description. That way it's easier for you to find it. Next question is by Bruna X Pin Hero. And they asked, how do you deal with people's judgment about your body hair, especially armpit hair? Has anyone ever said anything offensive? Do people stare at you at the gym or anywhere? This is such an interesting question because I actually have never, ever had any negative experience regarding my body hair. I actually had a really funny experience when I first started going to the last gym that I went to. There was an older gentleman who came up to me and he was like, hey, I think I watch your videos. Like, I knew it was you because I saw your armpit hair. And I just thought it was like the funniest, cutest thing that somebody recognized me because I'm like one of the few women who actually rocks their armpit hair. But yeah, I've never had people like stare at me in a disgusting way or like ask me when the last time I showered was. Like, nothing mean, nothing bad at all. So I guess having that experience kind of enables me to feel even more confident and like not really care what other people think. But even if people were making comments to me, I would just maintain the knowing that this is my personal decision and I'm doing it for a reason. For example, I don't shave my armpit hair because I get a crazy, crazy bad rash, and to me that pain is just not worth it. So yeah, I would just like really sink into that reason of why I'm not doing it in the first place. So hopefully that'll help you really maintain confidence with your choice. Next question is by M. Day. And they asked, why did you choose Colorado? This too has been such a widely asked question. Okay, so I knew when I was leaving Hawaii that I couldn't go to another tropical place because that was the reason I was leaving Hawaii, because it was super, super humid and you like can't get away from the humidity in a tropical place. So I was thinking about what other states in the US I could go to that would resonate really well with me, and a lot of them were actually coastal states like California, Oregon. I was also interested in Texas, Arizona, and Colorado was on the list as well. But the more that I started diving into mold research and like looking at cases of other people experiencing similar symptoms, a lot of those cases were popping up in coastal areas or areas where it was like so hot that there would be moisture buildup. Even if it was a dry spot like Texas or Arizona, there were a lot of like mold health cases there. So yeah, that kind of like guided me to Colorado. I also just felt like really excited about Colorado because I know there's so much to do outside here. I also knew that Colorado is super sunny. I think there's like over 350 sunny days a year, which was huge for me because you guys know I'm addicted to the sun. So yeah, there were various factors that went into my decision, but overall I'm pretty stoked to be here and just explore somewhere new. I also want to answer the question, is this temporary? Is this permanent? Am I going to be going back to Hawaii? My intention is yes. My intention is to enhance my immune system so much and enhance my health so much that I am able to return to Hawaii and tropical places in general, because that is where I feel home. So yes, this is temporary, but at the same time, I can't predict the future, so we'll have to just wait and see. Okay, next question is by Arya Rabipal, and they asked, how do you actually go about aligning yourself and manifesting your dreams? I freaking love this question. I feel like it all starts with listening to my intuition. So if I feel like something is right for me, I act on that. And if I don't feel like something is right for me, I really try to steer clear of that experience, decision, whatever it is. I feel like that's the foundation, along with self-care. So taking care of my body, making sure that I'm in good health. I feel like when I am feeling clear-minded and healthy in my body and connected spiritually, emotionally, just like healthy in all realms, I feel like shit just happens so much faster than if I'm not in a good space in my body or mind. This kind of goes hand in hand with listening to my intuition, but if there's like any synchronicities in my life, I try my best to pay attention to those and tune into the meaning of that rather than just disregarding it as like a coincidence. Because I think that everything happens for a reason. I think that's the most simple way for me to explain how to stay aligned and how to manifest, but I also have a series on this channel, so I'll link some of those manifestation law of attraction videos down below. The next question is by Hello Overall, and they asked, what can I do to convince my partner to try natural birth control, for example, using the daisy? I've been on hormones for a few months because that's the only thing that he has trust in. I really think I can master natural birth control, but I don't want my relationship to suffer. It feels hard to prioritize my health and end the worrying about my body when I know he'll be upset. Wow, first of all, thank you so much for sharing this question. I think this is going to be helpful for a lot of people. To answer your question, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you start reading the book Taking Charge of Your Fertility. It is so incredible in so many ways. It can explain far more than I could ever share right here and now. So I'm going to link that book down in the video description. I think that that will really lead you to feel empowered and fully understanding like what form of natural birth control will most resonate with you and like how to go about doing that. And I think honestly, if your boyfriend wanted to read that too, or if you just wanted to share what you have learned from the book with him, I think that that might help him feel more comfortable with the whole situation. But I definitely encourage you to read that and honor your body and honor your intuition on what it is that you feel called to do. And don't forget, at the end of the day, it is your body. So you should be making the decisions as to what you're doing with it. The next question is by the Mango Student. And they asked how to deal with injury and accidents. I got in an accident where I got hit by a car, had to undergo surgery for my leg, and I'm probably not going to be in the gym for a while, nor will be able to walk for at least 2 more months. I find it so hard not being able to move my body apart from minor things. My binging urges are real, and because of just sitting around, I'm scared to gain weight. Also, I miss the gym because it's my happy place and the place where I can improve myself mentally and physically, let out my anger, and just have time for myself. Do you have any tips on how to deal with this situation? Oh, girl, I feel you. I remember a few years ago, I was going through some physical things where I wasn't able to run and I was just like struggling to be able to work out in general. And it frustrated the heck out of me. And it took me like years to be able to get to a point where I can recognize a situation like that as an opportunity to grow in other aspects of life, which I know is so hard. I feel the same way about the gym that you do, where it's like, it's just your happy place. It's your place to just be by yourself and like grow, like you said. But there are so many other areas of life where you can grow as well. Think about your relationships, enhancing your relationship with yourself aside from your fitness routine, enhancing your relationship with others, learning new things, and engaging in hobbies that do not require that type of physical movement. There are so many ways that you can direct your time and energy, and you might even become passionate about something that you never thought you would be passionate about. So if I can offer any suggestion, it would be to try your absolute hardest. I know, I feel for you, but try your hardest to focus your attention on other new endeavors, other ways to grow, other ways to spend your time, and essentially just like other ways to be fulfilled in life. So I hope that helps, and I'm sending you lots of love and quick healing thoughts. Next question is by Abby Jessie, and she asks, what is your motivation to get up and get going every day? Oh my gosh, okay, so I have this unwavering drive, and it's a blessing and a curse, first of all. So anybody who feels like you are kind of on the other end of the spectrum and you're lacking motivation, and you're not super freaking crazy driven like I am, I just want to let you know that you are perfectly beautiful and great just as you are. And yeah, there's definitely downfalls of being crazy motivated and crazy driven, but I would say what I'm excited for when I wake up every day is helping to make a positive impact and create a positive ripple effect in the world, because I don't know if you realize, but the world has a lot of messed up things about it. And I just feel like if we all do the best that we can to be the best versions of ourselves and to make as positive of an impact on others as we can, whether that's just like our significant others, our family, our friends, our community, or like on a larger scale, reaching more people and impacting them positively, whatever I can do, I want to do that to make a positive impact on the world, because I believe the world needs it. I believe that everybody in the world could use a little bit more positivity and support and empowerment. So that is what motivates me every single day. Next question is by Melina Schwartz. And they asked, hello, I'm trying to break free from a toxic situation which has taken all physical and emotional energy from me. Do you have any tips on how to refill my personal resources? Lots of love from Germany. First of all, lots of love back to you all the way across the world. So similar to what I was saying a few questions ago about diving into new passions and new hobbies, what I would encourage you to do is to make a list of all of the things that you might have been neglecting as you were in this quote-unquote toxic relationship. So make a list of all those things you've been neglecting and start diving into them one at a time. Try to do one thing for yourself, whether it's a new thing that you're trying or just something that you haven't done in a long time. Do one positive thing for yourself every single day. Next question is by Finvo, and they asked, what was the reason that made you realize you have to turn your life around? How do you deal with negativity, frustration, procrastination, and anxiety? Even though I try very hard, I don't seem to make any progress, so I would be super happy if you had any tips. Okay, so first, the thing or the realization that I had that kind of led me to turn everything around was kind of questioning, like, what is the alternative? The alternative of making positive changes in my life and turning everything around would be literally just dealing with and sitting in that unhappiness, unfulfilling life, and like essentially just not being fulfilled, not being happy, feeling like crap physically, mentally, emotionally, all the things. And to me, that wasn't an option. Living my life like that for the rest of my years that I have here was not an option. So I had to choose the other path. So that was the realization that I had. And then in regards to starting to make progress, but then kind of falling back into procrastination and feeling negative and anxious and frustrated with that decision, the most important thing when you start to feel frustrated is that you redirect your energy to gain positive momentum. So instead of allowing that big snowball to pick up speed and go towards frustration, anxiety, guilt, depression, and like wishing that you just would have acted differently, you can literally choose to move that snowball and roll it in a more positive direction. Like, I can do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to try again, I'm worthy of succeeding at this. And yeah, you literally have the choice. So it can be hard in the beginning, but once you start to gain the momentum, it gets way, way easier. So basically every single day when you wake up, choose to move that snowball in the positive direction. I hope that helps. Next question is by Kimberly Lewis, and she asks, how long did it take for you to stop craving processed foods or be able to eat them in moderation since becoming vegan and mostly raw? Really good question. I want to say like 3 years that it took for me to really get a handle on it, but obviously like it was getting better and better and better over the course of those years. So I would say about 1.5 years ago is when my nutrition choices really felt more effortless and less forced. I mean, there's still times when I really want some French fries or something more junky or processed, but yeah, I would say it took about 3 years of like really wanting it and trying and like slipping up and having a hard time, but still believing in myself and like going through that whole journey to get to a point where I just don't really crave processed food. A huge key though is that the more healthy food that you eat, the more your body is going to want that food. The more junky food you eat, the more your body's gonna want that food. So if every single day you can simply focus on making your food choices more whole foods, healthy foods, fresh foods, you're gonna be in a good place. All right, friends, this is gonna be the very last question. It is by Amazon3, and she asked, what do you value the most in your friendships? Are you the type of person to have a few super close friends or many good friends? Well, I'm definitely the type of person to have a few very close friends. I feel like that's, I don't know, maybe because I'm slightly more introverted, maybe because I like long and crave like really deep, intimate, meaningful connections with people as opposed to just like talking story, like super casual interactions. So yeah, I definitely lean towards having just a few super close friends, and I'd say I really value trust and humor and openness. Those are the first three things that came to mind. So that is going to wrap up this Q&A video. I seriously had so much fun answering your questions. I will probably have another Q&A video soon. And if you have any questions you want me to answer in a future video, let me know down in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video.